morning to all of you. In this class, I am going to start with another important topic of chapter sexual reproduction in flowering plants, and the topic is embryo of dicot and monocot. So, before going to start, first revise our previous class content. As we already know in previous class, discussed in previous class, the female reproductive part and male reproductive part. In the female reproductive part, the pistil have ovule. Inside the ovule, the megaspore cells, mainly the spore cells, undergoes in meiosis division. After the meiosis division, finally the megaspores form, that is tetrad in structure, but three of them become degenerated. After the degeneration, only one cell enlarge or undergoes in development. During the development, the one cell undergoes in 3 karyokinesis, or finally 8 nucleated structure form, and 2 nuclei from 2 opposite sides migrate or move towards the middle region or towards the center of the cell. And finally the karyokinesis, after the karyokinesis, cytokinesis takes place, that is karyokinesis is followed by cytokinesis, and finally the embryo sac have 7 cell and 8 nucleated structure. Now in the microsporogenesis, because the anther is responsible for the microsporogenesis process, because inside the anther there is microspore mother cell which undergoes again in meiosis division, and finally microspores tetrad structure form inside the anther, and the microspores undergoes in dehydration. After the dehydration, the finally each microspore of tetrad structure become separated with from each other, एक दूसरे से सेपरेट हो जाते हैं. फाइनली दे कन्वर्टेड इनटू द पोलन ग्रेन्स, एंड पोलन ग्रेन्स हैव द स्पेशलाइज्ड स्ट्रक्चर दैट कंसिस्ट ऑफ द 2 cells, vegetative cells and generative cells. Generative cells undergoes in mitotic division, and after the mitotic division there is formation of the 2 male gamete inside the pollen grain. In 60% of the angiosperm, these 2 male gamete formation occur in pollen tube, and rest 40% of the angiosperm, these 2 male gamete already formed in the pollen grain before the pollination, before transfer of these pollen grain onto the stigma of a flower. Now the fertilization is carried out. Before fertilization, the one specific phenomena in angiosperms also takes place, that is pollination. Pollination, that means the transfer of male gamete onto the stigma of female gamete, and this on the basis of kind of pollination or transfer of these, or difference in the flower or difference in the plant body, they are characterized or divided into 3 parts, or mainly 3 kinds of pollination takes place in the flowering plants or angiosperm, that is autogamy. There are 2 type of flower, chasmogamous flower or clistogamous flower. In the chasmogamous flower are the open type of flower in which there is possibility of the autogamy as well as zenotogamy or xenogamy. So why these happen in chasmogamous? Because they are open type, so the pollen grains which are generally present in the surrounding, because they are light weighted, so they easily move with the help of water, with the help of they are water plant, or as well as they also belong to the terrestrial plant. So with the wind current or water current, they easily transfer from one flower to the another flower, but there is no guarantee of transfer of these pollen grain onto the right flower or right stigma. So यहाँ पे मिस्टेक होने की बहुत सारे possibilities, there are so many possibilities for the mistake or for the transfer of unwanted pollen grain onto the stigma. So on the basis of these, the clistogamous type of flower, because they are closed type of flower, so they only allows the autogamy. So because there is no chances due to the close of the flower, there is no chances of any other pollen grain that come onto the stigma. or transfer onto the stigma. So they only prefers or only allows the orthogamy. So in the orthogamous gamete type of pollination, the pollen grain transfer onto the stigma of a same flower. In xenogamy type of pollination, the xenogamy, the transfer of these pollen grain in two different flower of different plant. Now zytonogamy type of pollination, in the transfer of pollen grain takes place in from one flower to different flower, but plant will be same. So this type of pollination, now agents of pollination, the agents of pollination mainly divided into two part, that is abiotic or biotic. Abiotic is water and wind. For this purpose, because for the wind pollination, the pollen grain must be light weighted, non sticky, feathery stigma होना चाहिए, so that they easily catch pollen grain which is present in the wind current. And for the water pollination, the most of the plant or some of the plant mainly, they also produce the ribbon shaped pollen grain, so they easily migrate from one place to another place with the help of water current. Now for the insect pollination, the flower should be colored or form fragrance or एक specific perfume वो synthesize करते, also synthesize a specific perfume, and also they produce the nectar for the birds and the insect. Now double fertilization. So double fertilization is the characteristic feature of the angiosperm. There is two fertilization takes place in the double fertilization. As we already know, each pollen grain consists of two male gametes. So one of the two male gamete fuses with the egg, and the second male gamete fuses with the polar nuclei. So when the egg fuses with the sperm, that is known as syngamy, and when the sperm fuses with the polar nuclei, that is known as triple fusion. And the result of triple fusion is endosperm, and the result of syngamy is zygote. Finally, zygote converted into embryo, as we already know in the previous class. Now come to the today's topic, that is embryo of dicot and monocot. Dicot and monocot. So in the dicot or monocot, they are characterized by, because as we already know, during the embryogenesis process or development of embryo, the zygote is converted into the embryo first. But during the development, there are so many stages. So that zygote is converted into the embryo, that is globular embryo. Finally, from the globular embryo converted into the heart-shaped embryo. And finally mature embryo. So in the dicot plant, if we draw the mature embryo, the mature embryo have the two cotyledons. So the mature embryo have the hypocotyle, which is embryonal axis, or function as a embryonal. Hypocotyle is a embryonal axis, and the tip of the embryonal axis is known as epicotyle. Epicotyle. Now epicotyle terminated into plumule, and from plumule give rise to the stem of plant. From the plumule, stem development takes place, and here is radicle. Beneath the hypocotyle, the radical part is present, or overall this part is also known as radicle. There are type of the part of the radicle. So superficial part of the radicle is known as hypocotyle or epicotyle, because and plumule gives rise to the stem, and finally this part is known as radicle, and the radicle is covered by the tip root cap, or covered by the root cap. The tip of radicle is covered by the root cap. So these are the structure. Whenever the is in the seed, the mature embryo converted from the zygote, so they have the certain characteristic reason in the dicotyledonous seed. So because dicot क्यों बोला गया है, because in the embryo there are two cotyledons. Two cotyledons are present in the embryo. Now the radicle, the superior part of the radicle, characterized by the hypocotyle, also known as hypocotyle, and the upper region of the hypocotyle is known as epicotyle, and epicotyle terminated into the plumule, which gives rise to the stem, and the cotyledons are present, which are important during the seed germination, because all the endosperm, because as we know the zygote is converted into the embryo, but another fertilization is also takes place in the inside the ovule or embryo sac के अंदर, and the second fertilization is characterized by the formation of primary endosperm cell. So they undergoes in some of the plants zygote development, where during the development of zygote the endosperm already divided before the zygote get divided and converted into the globular embryo. So इससे पहले ही एम्ब्रियो के डेवलपमेंट से पहले ही zygote के डेवलपमेंट से पहले ही एंडोस्पर्म का फॉर्मेशन हो जाएगा, और वहाँ पे एम्ब्रियो सैक में during the development process, first the endosperm get divided. After the formation of a sufficient amount of endosperm, finally zygote undergoes in division and form the globular embryo, because ये decide करने के लिए किया जाता है कि particular for the development of or during the development of embryo, the seed have the proper amount of endosperm, so that during the development process there is no any deficiency or any deficiency of nutrients. तो कोई भी nutrients की deficiency ना हो, इस वजह से they start the endosperm divide first, then the zygote. So primary endosperm cell undergoes in karyokinesis process. By the karyokinesis process, there are so many nuclei formed for the formation of sufficient amount of nutrients. That nutrients utilized by the developing embryo. So after the development of embryo, finally the cotyledons are formed. The cotyledons is another nutritive material. They also provide the nutrition to the germinating seeds, because during the germination process seeds also require some energy. That energy provided by the cotyledons when before the first leaf या फर्स्ट लीफ के फॉर्मेशन से पहले जितनी भी न्यूट्रिएंट्स वॉट एवर न्यूट्रिएंट्स रिक्वायर फॉर द डेवलपमेंट एंड जर्मिनेशन of seed, that nutrition is provided by the cotyledons in dicot plants. So dicot plants during the embryogenesis or during the formation of mature embryo, or all the endosperm already utilized during the formation of the mature embryo. So after the development of embryo, there is no endosperm persist inside the seed. So that type of seed is known as non-albuminous seed, because no endosperm is present inside the seed. So there is only the structure of embryo which have the cotyledons. Two cotyledons are present in the dicot plant. These cotyledons provide nutrition to the germinating seeds. Now, so in the monocot embryo quite differ from the dicot embryo, because they have only one cotyledon. Only one cotyledon is present in the monocot plant. In the monocot plant. So this is the structure of the monocot embryo. In the monocot embryo, a structure is known as scutellum, which is equivalent to the monocot, or which is equivalent to the cotyledons. So that scutellum is a monocot. Actually, the one cotyledon which is present in the monocot embryo. Now this is the structure of monocot embryo. In the monocot embryo, the embryonal axis consists of the superficial part of the embryonal axis is known as the hypocotyle, or here is hypocotyle, hypocotyle. Now below the hypocotyle, the radicle is present. Radicle is covered by the root cap. And root cap is covered by coleorhiza. So overall, radicle is covered by the coleorhiza, and the plumule is covered by the coleoptile. Here is plumule, and this is the plumule region is covered by coleoptile. So during the development, some of the endosperm remain, some amount of endosperm remains in the monocot seed. So that's why only one cotyledon is present. So some amount of endosperm utilized during the germination of these type of seed, monocot seeds, because only one cotyledon is present. So that they require some amount of nutrition during the development of the endosperm. So these are the the scutellum mainly responsible for, they also provide nutrition, but like dicotyledon seed, they are not the well developed, and they don't have the sufficient amount of nutrition for the germinating seeds. So for the germinating seeds, the endosperm remains inside the seed or inside the seed, so that they are utilized during the development or during the germination of the seeds. Now if we discuss about the whole structure of the monocotyledonous embryo, here is monocot embryo. So monocot embryo में the one structure is scutellum, which is equivalent to the cotyledons. Now another structure is embryo, as we already know in the dicot seed, dicot embryo, the embryonal axis is also present. The superior region of embryonal axis is known as epicotyle, which also terminate into the plumule, and plumule gives rise to the stem. And below the hypocotyle, the radical region is present. Radical is covered by the root cap, and overall covering of the hypocotyle or radical part is known as the coleorhiza. So that is the covering of radical. And if we talk about the covering of plumule region, that is the covering of plumule is known as the coleoptile. So coleoptile. So covering of the plumule is known as coleoptile. This is the structure of the embryo of monocot plant. So monocot plant में, because if we talk about the difference in between monocot embryo or dicot embryo, in the monocot embryo, the scutellum is present, but in the cotyledon is characterized by or termed as scutellum, because the cotyledon is not so well developed in the monocot seed. So that's why the endosperm, some amount of endosperm persists or remains after the development of embryo, and that amount of endosperm utilized during the development of or during the seed germination. So this is the important difference in between the dicot embryo or monocot embryo. That is, in dicot embryo there is two cotyledons is present, and in monocot embryo the cotyledon is characterized by scutellum, or also known by the scutellum, because they are not so well developed like cotyledon, but they are equivalent to the cotyledon, because they also provide nutrition to the germinating seeds, but that nutrition is not sufficient, fully sufficient for the developing seeds. So now this is the important structure of the embryo of dicot and monocot too. So when we study about the dicot and monocot embryo, there is a significance of coleorhiza and coleoptile. Coleorhiza is also important in monocot embryo, because dicot embryo may not such structures seen. In dicot plant, the coleoptile is covering of radical, and coleoptile is covering of plumule. Coleoptile is covering of plumule, and the coleorhiza is covering of radical. So that's why the monocot plants are so advanced as compared to dicot plants, because they also survive in the most adverse condition, or for example grasses, they germinate everywhere without proper amount of water and proper amount of food also, so water or minerals also. So they are quite advanced with if we comparison these monocot with dicots. So the monocots plants are more advanced than the dicot plants because of the structure of embryo, seeds, plants too. Or if we talk about whole plant, the whole plant are also difference. There are so many difference in between the dicot plant and monocot plant because they resist water loss, or for the resistance of they resist the water loss. So for this purpose the stomata are mainly present in both the sides, so that they can reduce the transpiration process. And also for the seed germination, they also form the protective covering on the plumule or on the radical part, coleoptile or coleorhiza, as compared to the dicot plant, because as we know that in the dicot plant there is no such type of structures are present. So these are the common characteristics of the dicot embryo and monocot embryo. So before in the class एक रिवीजन, क्विक रिवीजन करते हैं. सो व्हाट वी डिस्कस इन टुडेज क्लास, द डाइकॉट इन द डाइकॉट एम्ब्रियो देयर आर द डाइकॉट एम्ब्रियो इज द एम्ब्रियोनल एक्सिस is in the dicot embryo is consist of plumule, epicotyle, then plumule and radical. And if we talk about the lower region of the embryonal axis, they consist radical part and root cap. So finally the plumules give rise to the stem and the radical gives rise to the root. Now above to the plumule, the two cotyledons arise. In the dicot seed there is no such amount of in some अगर हम सब एग्जाम्पल अगर हम डिस्कस करें तो there are so many exception also, but in commonly there is no the endosperm do not persist or do not remains after the development of the full embryo or mature embryo. So endosperm persist remains नहीं रहेंगे, बचेंगे नहीं after the development of embryo. Now in the monocot seed the cotyledon is also termed as scutellum, and the embryonal axis have the epicotyle, hypocotyle, and below the hypocotyle the radical root cap is present. The plumule is covered by the coleoptile and the radical is covered by the coleorhiza, and scutellum provide nutrition to the germinating seeds. And in such type of embryo, in such type of seed in which this type of embryo is present, they also have some amount of endosperm remain inside the seed for the development or for the germination of seed. But in dicot seed there is no such amount of endosperm remains after the development or after the formation of seed. So they utilize the cotyledons provide nutrition to the germinating seed. But in case of the monocot seed, they have the endosperm. So that type of seed is known as albuminous seed, in which because the scutellum is much reduced form of the cotyledons, so they don't have sufficient amount of nutrition for the germination of the seed. So that nutrition is provided by the endosperm, which remains after the development of embryo too. So they provide nutrition, the remaining endosperm provide nutrition to the germinating seeds. So that type of seed is known as albuminous seeds, and in which the albumin is not present, that is the endosperm is non-remains. So that type of seed is known as non-albuminous seed, as in dicot, as in pea plant. Pea maybe देखेंगे, but in some of the dicot plant they also have the albumin or have the endosperm. That type of plant is known as or seed is known as albuminous seed, as in case of castor. So this is the overall characteristics of the embryo of diploid and monocot seed. So monocot embryo. So I hope you like this video. So we will discuss next topic in next class. So thank you, students.